we are doing 2-minute reviews of 4 awesome games on the Xbox original. So let's go ahead, get that set up back behind me, and let's get into it. Now that we have the Xbox setup back behind us, let's go ahead and get into the games. These are awesome games that I think you'll definitely enjoy. The first game we have to talk about is Burnout Revenge. Now, I've talked about Burnout before, but there are so many awesome games, and I feel like I just always have to mention this when I'm talking about something. And this is a new series, and I've never talked about it in 2 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. This is an amazing game. If you are like me and you loved racing games where you can crash and destroy things, this is the game for you. Like, when you're talking about smashing things, this game is absolutely insane. One of my favorite things that drew me to Burnout, it was actually the racing and the crashing. You can play so many different modes that you could go without crashing for 3 or 4 races, and then go 3 or 4 races where you purely just smash things, and that's a ton of fun. When you're driving through and you can do stunts and crash into each other's cars and take each other out, and then you create a rival, and then you go after that rival during a race, and then you have to get as many points as possible crashing. This game just has it all. It goes back and forth between a few different things, which is one reason why this is a game that I always love playing, because if you get tired of the racing aspect, you could just start the next race where you are just crashing. And same goes for if you're tired of crashing, you can actually race. And so I think this is a really good game, and I think it's one that you should have. Next game we're going to talk about is actually one that is an interesting story. The only reason I bought Freestyle Street Soccer was actually because I found it in a thrift store, and it was only $2, which is totally amazing. But the artwork just was so ridiculous, I thought I had to have it. I flipped it over, I saw it, and I realized that it's very much like NBA Street or NFL Street, and it's a soccer game that's pretty much those games. So I wanted to pick this up, and I'm glad I did, because actually this is a ton of fun. It's really funny when you boot this up and the characters have like a British accent, because you wouldn't expect that, but it's pretty funny to hear that. The gameplay is actually a ton of fun. The artwork kind of reminds me of NFL Street or NBA Street. There's a ton of those that are a ton of fun, but this is actually a Blockbuster exclusive, which is kind of shocking to me. The reason I picked this up was because it looked interesting, but realistically, this is actually a pretty fun game. If you are a fan of soccer and you like kind of over-the-top arcade games, which I've talked about before, this is one you should definitely have. It's pretty fun. There's some crazy aspects like doing some cool tricks and trying to score that way. But overall, it is a soccer game that is pretty fun. Now, I say it's pretty fun because it actually is, not just because I'm saying that, but the kind of the characters when they're playing, it's pretty interesting. If you like soccer, this is a game you should definitely have in your Xbox collection because it's a ton of fun, and this game is pretty cheap, to be honest. If you're enjoying this video right now and you haven't subscribed, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. 75% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. So go ahead, hit that bell notification, hit the subscribe button, and let's get back to the games. The next game I wanted to talk about was Phantom Dust because this game looked very interesting. I bought this at a pawn shop or a thrift store for $4. I think this was a thrift store, but I'm pretty glad that I did pick this up because this game is very interesting, and it's one that you kind of wouldn't expect to see on the Xbox. It even says, unlike anything else on the Xbox, which is kind of funny to see it say that before you've even played the game, but playing this is pretty awesome. You basically have to grab these kind of phantom dust particles, I guess is the right word, and you have to then channel those and then shoot them at your enemies, which is a ton of fun. I played a little bit of it, and I definitely need to play more of this because I caught myself being way too much into this game, and it's a ton of fun because of it. Now, when I say I'm too into this game, when I was recording it, I mean, I've played this game and it's a ton of fun, but when I was recording it, I was wanting to spend a little too much time on it, and that's okay because it's a ton of fun. but it's very interesting. You kind of have to lock onto the target, then you throw the phantom dust at them and basically turn it into like particles where you can actually throw attacks and defend and all that stuff. And it's pretty cool playing where you're destroying kind of the surrounding as well. So I feel like being on the Xbox original, this looks like it's probably one of the later games because it does look pretty cool. I like the kind of the feel. It definitely feels like Halloween-y, kind of spooky vibes, but it's really awesome. I like the artwork. I thought it was a ton of fun to play, and I can't wait to play more of it. And the last game on this list has to be Sirius Sam. And why did I save this for the last? Because I wanted to save the best for last. Now, I was playing this and I was having way too much fun. I picked this game up for like $5.99 at a local game store back like 2 or 3 years ago, and I finally got to playing it, and wow, was it definitely worth it. The artwork on the cover alone made me buy this game, but when I got into it, I loved it and I wanted to play more and more of it. It kind of takes me kind of back to the old Halo days, or kind of like Star Wars Battlefront, where the game isn't that hard to play, but it is very, very enjoyable, and you can have some very good fun while playing it. The artwork for this looks very awesome, which is one reason I really, really enjoyed this game, because when I see something that kind of looks cel-shaded, but then it's not like that in the game, it kind of sucks, but this game was awesome. I want to play more of this for sure. I played through a few levels, and I had a ton of fun, but I think Sirius Sam is a game that is probably really underrated and people don't talk about it, but it is so cool with the artwork and the kind of the visuals and everything. It wasn't too bad to look at, so I really definitely enjoyed it, and I think you should definitely have this in your collection if you don't already, because it's a really awesome game. So there we go. There are 4 games from the Xbox original that I definitely think that you should play. This was the second episode of 2-minute reviews. So if you have more games that you think I should review very quickly, comment down below and let me know. But with that being said, this is all I got, so peace.